Hello everybody and welcome to round 6 of Grand Prix Nashville. This will be, we're closing in on the 2/3 mark of the tournament. These are two of the teams that are still standing at 5-0. We'll call them Team Madison, Sam Black, Matt Severa, and Gaudenis Vidugiris, playing against Dan Crawford, Matt Heflin, and Eric Diemer, and we are starting on the match between Sam Black and Dan Crawford.
Sam's going to play a lot of non-basic lands in this match. He's got 9 in his list, along with 9 basics.
Now, I was talking to some of the other teams that are at the top tables, and they really felt like this deck archetype, this 5-color kind of...
Yeah, it's usually 4-color, but
four or 5-color, whatever. It was just too risky. Like, they felt like the decks in Team Sealed are actually more aggressive than the decks you even see in draft.
Yeah, you can get some really aggressive 2-color decks in Sealed, for sure. You know what's good against those aggressive 2-color decks, though?
What's that?
End hostilities.
Oh, well, that's a pretty good reason. Yeah, and usually that's what you see, like cards like Death Frenzy, End Hostilities.
Oh, he's got one of those, too.
Does he really?
No, sorry, I was thinking of it. I missaw.
Okay.
But yeah.
So, Morph played by Sam, and Dan just, says, I'm going to just play Force Away. I'm going to bounce it. I'm going to slow you down a little bit here. See what you have going on.
Wow, Sam's got a Sarkon, too. I like Sam's deck. Not black is his color combination.
So 5 colors then.
4-color, not black.
Well, but black.
Oh, he's the
also
5th color.
Black.
I guess he's the 5th color.
Yeah. So a Snowhorn Rider got bounced. Ostensibly, it was replayed. Could be something else. We'll see if Sam... Nope, Sam's like, no, I'm not even fooling around here. I'm just going to unmorph this Snowhorn Rider and bash you while you're obviously not playing anything on turn 3 or turn 4.
Yeah, Sam's opponent
than a
is
Force
the one
Away.
that has the Death Frenzy, for the record.
Oh, okay.
His opponent is Sultai. The Ascendancy, the Charm, the Vizier.
Yes. The words Sultai and Abzan are a trap have been uttered to me multiple times, talking to teams about this format.
Oh, that's part of the reason you blow the Force Away, is to get a card in the graveyard for Sultai Scavenger.
Yeah.
Not great, but I mean, if your hand's bad enough.
To Lotus Petal.
Not great, but better.
Oh,
how about Sagu Mauler?
Wow. Death Frenzy is not going to get it done here.
You know what could get it done? Not yet, but...
Dead Drop?
Dead Drop. He has Dead Drop in his Sultai deck. He needs an enabler of some kind.
Well, there's a Sultai Ascendancy.
Yeah.
And there is...
Jeskai Windscout.
Jeskai Windscout, yeah.
Ascendancy's going to mill 2, and then he could play land number 7. He's still one short.
Oh. Kill that, tap that. Oh, by the way, I have 11 points of power on the board.
Yeah, you're not going to have time for anything.
Yeah, no.
That was fast.
Yeah. Sam Black just kind of, you say 4-color control, but really, he just was wielding a hammer.
Well, I mean, he is attacking with 2 giant morphs.
Yeah.
Right,
5/5 and a 6/6.
That'll do.
There
kind
you
of a
can look
clunky
in
draw
the foreground, Gaudenis Vidugiris, who's in the middle of a game against Eric Diemer. And we're going to go there. You see that Eric Diemer is War Name Aspirant and Ice Feather even in the red zone, so sort of a teamery, at minimum teamer.
Yeah, he's mostly red-green.
Okay.
He's red-green aggro is what he really is. Red-green aggro, a couple of Bloodfire experts, the Prowess guy, the 3/1. I like that guy.
Probably splashing, I would assume, some Snowhorn Riders.
2 Snowhorn
in addition
Riders
to that
and a
Ice
Charm.
Feather Raven.
Yeah, and a Charm.
Okay.
5 lands to make it work.
So.
But yeah, definitely trying to be the 2-color aggro deck, although not playing as Valley Dasher. That's when you know they're trying to beat down. That's when they put Valley Dasher in.
So a Morph and a Disowned Ancestor for Gaudenis.
I would tell 2 Jeering Instigators.
Oh, I like that card a lot.
Yeah,
there's a Bring Low, takes down the Morph, and it was shiny.
Your name is Tyler Gee, and you signed up for draft number 20. Tyler Gee.
It's a Jeering Instigator of his own.
Draft number 20. Please make your way to the Chandra banner so you're
No, that's Matt's deck. Sorry.
Tyler Gee, draft 20. Please make your way to the Chandra banner.
So meanwhile, Diemer just keeps attacking. Gaudenis is down to 7. down to 2 now. He's thinking about whether or not he wants to. Is that Diemer Charger? I think was the mark there.
Ah, yeah. It was.
And Eric Diemer takes the first game.
It's a nice deck. That is a super fast red-green aggro. Just, I mean, it's earn them and burn them. Just play out the creatures, clear a path with your burn spells.
So I see
keep turning them sideways.
I see a Cubs jersey on Diemer, but you would think that would indicate from Chicago. But having traveled to these events, I know they're everywhere.
Funny. Wow. Master of Pearls running into Master of Pearls?
Well,
Not something you see every day. Yeah, it turns out when the two of them fight, the guy who flipped second is usually winning.
Right. And then you see Severa's life total.
3.
A thread. He is at 3. And when we were sitting down to build, honestly, we felt like this Black-White Warriors deck or this Abzan
Yeah,
Warriors
I thought it was
deck,
going to be everywhere.
We thought it would be everywhere, and we weren't. We maybe
you
saw
don't get
a little bit of it in one of the 3 card pools we built.
Right. These guys have both a Chief of the Edge and a Chief of the Scale, so that's what got Matt Heflin to go down this route.
Sure.
One of each, you definitely start thinking about it. But yeah, you don't get a lot of the uncommons in 12 packs. It's sort of half as many packs as you would see at a draft table.
So Severa attacks with his Einat Blood Bondkin, and then plays a Mardu Horde Chief. Looks like a feat of resistance counter on the Chief of the Scale. Is that Chief of the Edge or Chief of the Scale? Looks like Edge. Oh, it doesn't matter. There's one of each now. That's Chief of the Scale.
Yeah,
Yep.
Just jump.
And just a token jumps in the way. See a handful of spells in hand for Matt Heflin. Crazy is it this event, you win this round, you're 6-0.
You still haven't clinched day 2.
You still have not clinched day 2.
Oof.
So kill shot takes down the Bondkin.
But still triggered raid.
Yep.
Saddle Boot's still free.
Yeah.
Matt.
And hard to get through.
Well, I mean, if Matt can just get either blocker out of the way, he would insta-win.
Yeah.
As it is, he still gets to turn everybody sideways, and these blocks aren't super easy.
But
yeah,
yeah.
Abzan Charm. That'll do.
Wow. So 3 quick games here. And the lesser-known team is up 2 games to 1. Or up in 2 of the matches, I guess is the better way to phrase that. It's tricky. You're talking about games and sets and matches.
Attention Magic drafters.
So it looks like good
Gals
Gaudenis.
off to the races with Eric Diemer.
Please report to the Chandra Wall.
So wow, just ran out that Ice Feather Raven on turn 2. He's like,
He's the beatdown.
He's like, I like Gaia Skyfolk. It's good enough.
It is.
I agree.
Especially Matt deck.
He's like, I attack for 2, I play a morph. What am I going to do? Play a morph then play a morph? Yeah, it's not as good. And the Tuskguard captain comes down, slows things down.
Yeah, blocks the morph.
Ice Feather Raven's like, I'm just staying in this position until you block me.
Oof. Diemer
Charm. So gets +1/+1 and fights a creature.
3/3 beats up 2/3.
Yep.
That is how math works.
Yep.
And you get to attack for 5.
Yeah, that's a huge swing. and then next turn he's on 5 mana for his morph.
Right.
So he's Gaudenis takes the turn, plays a morph, and then he can't even block. And maybe that untaps, maybe it unmorphs, maybe it doesn't. But
right.
He is on his back heel from now on. He really needs something to stem the tide and swing the momentum of this match back around. It might not be real in football, but momentum is very real in Magic. There's a morph. So I like, we saw a couple teams doing this, by the way, taking their morphs out of their sleeve so that they can't forget to reveal their morph at the end of the game. Even if they pick up their hand somehow, they'll be like, well, it was the unsleeved card, and they can flip it over if somehow there's a mental lapse.
Smart.
It's really nice. I saw Brad Nelson, Jake Van Loenen, and Zach Hill doing that earlier. We saw them doing it on camera. In case you're wondering why, that's just an extra layer. That's like when you put a die on top of your deck to remind you of your upkeep trigger. Mm-hmm. This is to physically remind them to reveal their morphs at the end of the game.
Pine Walker.
Yeah.
You
wouldn't bash your morph into that morph. He wasn't going to block that morph.
That's a great point. Eric
5
could have
mana.
attacked pre-combat. There's no way it goes blocking.
And if he does, it's kind of fine, especially if you're going to just play a Pine Walker
right
onto an empty board for Gaudenis. Gaudenis has his cards in 2 tiers. What do you think those 2 tiers are?
Oh, funny.
Cards I can play, cards I wish I could play. Sultai Flare comes down.
Morph must be something good. The fact that Eric wasn't willing to even offer a trade.
Oh, it's the Jeering Instigator.
Got it. Rah! 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Wow.
And the morph does what? Trades with the now face-up Instigator?
This is last call for the standard
Yeah.
games that is starting at 6 o'clock.
Yeah. I mean, you do what you got to do, I guess.
Now is your time to get involved.
No, he's just
Gonna
he's
chump the
actually
Pine Walker.
worth more to him to.
We'll be starting this event shortly.
Save 3 damage.
Yeah. Looks like that might have been his own Pine Walker. Oh no, it was the Woolly Loxodon. Yeah. Which was in no danger of unmorphing anytime soon. All right, so there's a debilitating injury. He could take down the flyer, but he's at 6.
Attention players, with Nathaniel Smith, please come to the judges at the Chandra Wall. Nathaniel Smith.
I guess that's why he didn't want to risk the jury. He's like, this is going to be good for me.
And you talk to a lot of the named players, they live in fear of running into the no-name opponents who've opened a bunch of bombs. I'm not sure the bunch of bombs is actually the thing you need to be afraid of in this team sealed. It's more like the awesome 2-color curve.
Right.
The bombs are things like Ice Feather
The
Aven.
well lined up runs of commons and uncommons.
Right. When you get the 2-color beatdown, it can be very good.
Okay, so this is.
Although Sam Black with his 4 colors has put up a match win.
So we're gonna bear punch something. Savage Punch takes down the morph with the flare. He sees a Snowhorn Rider. And now
That worked
debilitating injury will take out the. Oh,
Ooh.
interesting. Dennis is at 6.
Yeah.
The play my land untap step. Burn away.
That's lethal.
And that is lethal.
Oh, does he gain the life? From the flare die?
Yes.
Booster draft.
And then
number
take 7.
27.
So he goes to 3.
Please report to the Chandra wall. Booster draft 27.
Death Frenzy. Death Frenzy go to 5.
That's why he played the debilitating injury that way.
Still alive.
We can do it.
Another land for Diemer. Take you to 2. Looks like some sort of charm.
Yep. Sultai, I think? Oh, he's got both Sultai and Diemer in his deck. Does go. Wow, they've got 2 different 4-color decks.
Sam and Gaudenis always like to do the same thing. They like to be
guess
on the
so.
same deck.
They only overlap by 3 colors.
Plays Diemer Charm. Or is that Salt? I'm sorry. Sultai Charm. Yeah. And he's stabilized it too.
Crazy.
Long shot squad is going to get brought low. Yep, bring low.
Diemer's hellbent. He's just playing off the top. That looked like a spell.
I think it's another bring low. Yeah, he has. No, he only has one of them. Although this is game 2, he might have more than one. He does have one in his sideboard.
It's Legacy
That's what it is.
Legacy Hitbox number 3.
Wow.
Please report to the Chandra banner.
Gaudenis could have played that face up, right?
Yeah.
Chose to run it out as a morph.
Heir of the Wilds. Or Heir of the Wilds.
Every creature from Eric Diemer is going to be a lethal threat. That's how this game's going to play out.
Well, our life total must be incorrect because we have we have Gaudenis at 2 here, but he just cast Bitter Revelation.
Guessing he's not actually at 2. Guess he was at 3.
Yeah, I thought he was at 3. I was like, I missed the point somewhere. Okay. Now he's at 1 after he resolves Bitter Revelation.
Can he deal with Heir of the Wild?
It's a land
play a
and a morph.
Well, there's a spell off the top. Is that an injury? No.
He's like, I will block. There's a Disowned Ancestor. They're going in opposite directions here. Leaving himself vulnerable to Valley Dasher.
Which Diemer has but isn't playing.
Okay.
In the board.
It looks like, is that a pair of Savage Punches in
Oh, wow.
Gaudenis' hand?
He's got some work to do to turn on the Ferocious ability, if that's true.
Yeah, well, he does have 2 Savage Punches in his deck.
Oh, it's a Dragon Scale Boon in his hand.
Oh, okay. So, morph from Diemer.
Ha!
Kintree Invocation.
Kintree?
For 6.
Disowned Ancestor is nice combo with Kintree.
Yeah, I mean, just on turn 2 to make a 4/4.
Right. You get
is
1 mana
pretty insane.
Ancestor, 2 mana 4/4. Here it's a 6/6.
I think it's all Marshall wants to do in Magic.
One, two, three.
more from Diemer. Dennis Pierce has been at 1. He can't find the card to put him away.
Yeah, no, he's been at 1 for a long time.
He's like, I gained 1. Is that enough?
Are there player burn spells in this deck? There's an Arc Lightning and an Arrow Storm. Yeah, punch that. I'm an 8/8.
Punch your morph. In the nose. Oh, wow. And it was a woolly Loxodon.
Wow.
How often do you Savage Punch a woolly Loxodon and have it with
Yeah.
the mana to unmorph it?
Right.
And come out on the right side of that.
Well played by Gaudenis.
Dennis gets it in for 8. Leaves his Disowned Ancestor back. Sends it up to a 3/7.
Legacy Winbox number 3, player Vidugiris.
Diemer does have a card in hand that's not a land.
Please come to the Chandra wall. Legacy number 3,
Oh, it's time to send them both.
Check.
Get in for 9.
Gaudenis is set to win the game next turn by attacking with those same 2 creatures.
You hear him talking to his teammates, or see him talking to his teammates, pointing at the Dragon Scale Boon in his hand.
If you are in public events and you want to play in a very cool public event, the next little games is happy to announce that we are going to run a limited
A chump blocker.
Yeah, how this game has turned around.
These are Ice Age Cold Snap booster traps. They are $30. We have a limited amount of them. They are 8-man single elimination with 12 packs going to the winner. It is an extremely hard set to get, but we have a limited amount of them. So if you want to come draft Ice Age Cold Snap,
Is
that the game?
And this should be.
Oh, he drew the Arc Lightning off the top.
Oh,
Wow.
what is Gaudenis thinking about here? That's
Wow. Arc Lightning off the top on the last
Gaudenis
possible turn.
fought back valiantly.
Now, I thought he was forcing a game 3. All comes down to this game 3 instead.
So Sam Black has taken his match against Stan Crawford. Gaudenis is down 2-0 to Eric Diemer, and we are game 3 here between Matt Severa and Matt Heflin. And
Warriors on Warriors.
This is all Mardu.
I assume it's clearly Mardu from Matt.
I see green from
Heflin might be just black-white.
He might be Obzon. I see a green dual land, a green.
His
refuge.
basics are only black and white. Yeah, there's a touch of green. It's Obzon versus Mardu, but it's basically black-white.
Just this fatiguing like bunch of creatures, just like this motley assortment. You're like, oh, I don't want to trade for this on either side.
Yeah, both decks are basically black-white decks. Just one is touching a little bit of red, the other one's touching a little bit of green.
Einach Bonkin begins the Outlast game.
3 chiefs between the 2 of them.
Nick Ramsey to the stage, please. Nick Ramsey.
Once again, standard clearance are being posted on the Chandra clearance board. And team draft number 4 is meeting in front of the
You see Matt Severs holding a Russia battle.
Oh, interesting.
He is short the mana needed to cast it. His hand is just all good stuff.
That does tend
As
to
it is-
happen
as
when you
it-
only
as
have
it's-
3 lands.
Okay. Will we see Feet of Resistance here? Trade for Mardu Hateblade? Hateblade on Hateblade. Chief on Horde Chief. I have to imagine will. No, he's like, I'm pretty happy to just trade all these guys and commit something to my board. Which we know is a Ruthless Ripper.
Yep.
2 points of life. Heflin might not be planning on losing. All right, Heflin plays a morph. It's Master of Pearls.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining the event, your round 3 pairings are being posted.
Is Matt holding 2
Giant
Vidugiris?
pairings are being posted.
You attack with everybody here?
Probably.
Instead, he plays a third morph. Second morph for him, third.
Well, he's looking at feat of
Third morph.
resistance mana from Matt Heflin. I think that's what scared him off,
Yeah.
especially with an Einok Bonkin there. Morph could turn into a 3/3 first striker.
Yeah. Right, feat of resistance, not very good against the morph.
Well, it's hard to choose a color.
Yeah. Pretty good against the first strike of the Einok Bonkin, though.
Yeah.
Still no land for
Yep.
Matt Severa. He knows he's holding that rush of battle. He knows he has this huge attack that's just going to, you know, grab him back a huge chunk of life.
Hobbs on Charn in Matt Heflin's hand. Seems like it's kind of burning a hole in his pocket. God, what can I do with this? I want to do something.
Oh, he's going to do something right now, it looks like. Or is he playing? Nope, here it comes.
Draw 2.
Yep. Does it at the end of the turn.
Kill shot joins his hand. Oh, Smite the Monstrous, my bad.
Land number, yeah, they
Not nearly
they
as good.
look almost exactly the same.
Your pairings are being
Yeah, I'm a little surprised it's in, actually.
Doesn't seem great in this matchup.
Seems like in the situations where it's going to do something for you, you have to be pretty far behind. So get in with the Bonkin so he can hunt some skulls.
Yeah, Mardu Rough Rider. It's been a rough game for that guy.
Yeah.
He's given up, not waiting for 5 mana any longer.
Another Bonkin.
With 2, he's consistently left up that.
There is land number 4.
Heflin's been very consistently leaving up 2 mana. If he doesn't have a feat, he has done a great job of representing it. He's clearly got Matt playing around it.
To the stage, Chandra.
Yeah, once your opponent starts playing around a trick, it's worth representing it even if you don't have it. It's almost even better to represent it.
Three of the creatures are warriors there. The other 2 are morphs. Means 6, 7, 8. We gain back 10 life this turn. But like you said, the feat of resistance would make that a little scary. You can see Matt's pleading his case to his teammates. It's like, you know, this is what I think happened.
28, your event is ready to go. Who's your round number 28? Please meet your judge in front of the Chandra on the
Interesting.
stage.
Basically says to Matt Heflin, show me a feat of resistance. Heflin declines. totally would have traded one for either of those creatures, right? I feel like that was the feat of resistance check.
Right.
Because it's so good tempo-wise. If Matt blocks, gets a +1/+1 counter on his Bonkin, and eats one of those creatures.
Okay. Pumps his Bonkin. Oh. Is that take up arms at the end of
Oh, wow,
Matt's
is it?
hand? Yeah, Severa's hand.
Take up arms, untap, rush of battle.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
AKA the combo. The fix. Things have come a long way since the fix, if that's the fix, by the way.
Oh boy, bunny back too. 3 goblins. Matt Severa is going wide.
He's also got a chief.
Yeah, I think you just wait another. Yeah, if you've got take up arms, you wait another turn. Get them all out there. He was scrapping on land for a little while, but you get to 5 with this deck. That's when you can really start pulling away.
Here comes a debilitating injury.
Two-headed giant team Stinson and
Okay.
Owens. Please report to play table 783 for your match. Two-headed giant team Stinson and Owens. Commander players Hunter Apple and Whitney Miles. Please report to your judge.
Debilitating
blade?
injury on the hate blade.
Hunter Apple and Whitney Miles to Chandra.
Passes the turn. Makes 3 warrior tokens.
Inbound players, your pairings for the next round are being posted on the Chandra banner. Grand Prix
Untap.
rebound pairings
3,
are
6,
posted.
10 potential attackers.
He's like, I don't really care what token you want to put there, says Severa, who can't
Yeah.
get the Russia battle onto the board quickly enough.
10 attackers. They're all at least 3 power. So you have 4 blockers. Pretty sure you're
Try
taking...
not to take 11 here.
Well, yeah, good luck not taking 11.
So he can kill shot
Smite.
and or smite one. Well, or smite one.
Right, so then he's still taking 15. Yeah, it's 10 attackers.
Yep.
Yeah, there's the handshake.
Shows him the Ruthless Ripper that was innocent, face down on the board.
Score 1 for Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah, and there is the Master of Pearls that just came out early and never got a chance to unmorph.
Yeah, Heflin was a little flooded.
Yeah. And yeah, Matt Severa wins. He'll be Matt Severa's teammate Sam Black will be heading to Nice.
It's not that far away.
Yeah,
It's like a month away.
I'm just realizing, I'm like, is my passport renewed?
1 month away.
December 5th through 7th is the World Magic Cup. December 2nd and 3rd and the 7th is the World Championship. 24 of the best players playing 4 different formats over 3 days. $150,000 prize purse. Shahar Shenhar is the defending world champion. Reed Duke came in 2nd last year.
Yep.
He's going to be looking to top himself. 22 other players looking to get there.
Gonna be
I
awesome.
can't wait. And of course, the World Magic Cup. Always a great weekend. Hey, there's a
Bonus
Jamie Park.
coverage. Everyone seems to be gathered around this match.
So Jarek Shields, he's at 23. Jamie Park is at 19. We're having a Twitter conversation about whether the team should be called Antarctica
Antarctica
or Pantharctica.
and Antarctica, clearly.
Looks like an Icy Blast.
Is that Icy Blast defensively? Please don't kill me, sir. That's never
That
how you
kind of
want to
looks
be doing
that
the
way.
Icy Blast.
Is that that's a salt? That's a
I don't know
token.
what that
That's
5
that
is.
5 there is probably a kin tree
Ah,
invocation.
that just died to a Savage Punch.
Yep. follow it up.
And here's the Sultai
Yeah.
Scavenger.
Looks like counters are on all of Jamie's creatures from that Abzan Ascendancy.
Sure.
Plays 2 morphs, says go. Reminds him, those guys don't untap. I had Ferocious at the time. You may not remember it because you killed it, but
True
at the
story.
time, I had Ferocious. He was like, okay, attack for 3. I believe both of these teams are also 5-0.
Yeah. And a little bit under 500 teams this weekend.
Right.
I didn't hear the final number, but it looked like that's where it was coming in.
Yeah, that was somewhere like 480, 490.
Sure. That's right. There's probably 15-ish undefeateds left coming into this round. Probably be down to should be down to single-digit undefeated teams after this round.
Okay,
Ooh,
a dead drop. It's actually a little.
It's not the end of the world. Abzan Ascendancy is going to give him a couple of guys, right?
Yep. Jamie will actually have an Air Force that's able to get through.
He's going to lose the Scavenger.
Layers of Commander Pod number 10. Please meet
Yeah, I'm with you.
your
The Air
judge
Force
in
looked
front of the
valuable.
Chandra banner on the stage. Commander Pod number 10 to Chandra.
I guess the 5/5 Mandrills and the set of Sultai Flare. Is the
Yes.
other one?
Are
So
you
4/5
able to
Sultai Flare?
In a standard madness, please report to your match at 7:15.
I know. 5/5 Trample versus
Are you
3/3
able to
Flying.
enter? Please report to your standard match at table 715.
Wow. Jamie going to trade his tokens for a morph, at least attempt to. Only 3 mana untapped. This should work.
What do you have, a Force away
Maybe
here?
it's a
or-
bounce.
Oh.
Oh,
Wow,
wow.
Ice Feather even.
Wow.
They say there's no blowouts at 3 mana
We
with
just
a
saw a
morph.
blowout.
That's a blowout. But Jamie has
Yeah, he's got
pretty
some beef.
impressive ground forces here. Jamie, of course, recently coming off of a Grand Prix, a Pro Tour top 8. Oh, there's a Savage Punch.
Killer Morph. Got a Mystic of the Hidden Way. So now instead of coming over for 9, he's coming over for 11.
And Long Shot Squad. Feels like it's some X-Men DC crossover comic. Sultai Flare all his own. Is that a Ghostfire Blade?
I believe so. A good one in general. Not clear this is good enough here though. Jamie can just, he's got 2 lethal attackers. I think it's just a question of whether he's attacking with 2 or 3, right? I mean, if he attacks with the long shot squad, it can get eaten by the flare, but then the other 2 creatures are in better shape.
Right. And the damage to Jarek resolves before the triggers from the Sultai. So if he goes
Yes.
to 0, he won't get a chance to gain that life.
Correct.
Which is sort of what they're trying to puzzle out here. How does this work? What happens?
5, your bench is ready to fire. Please meet your judge in front of the Chandra on the stage. Modern Winner Box number 5 to the Chandra stage.
Jarek is at 4. No pressure. You're just playing against. Wow, he just attacks with everybody.
29, please meet your judge in front of the Chandra stage.
Is that
Please
block,
return
block, block?
29 to the
Yep.
Chandra stage.
Yeah.
2 guys die. Long shot squad. Turns into a 1/1 flyer. That's the other reason it's okay to attack with it.
Gains some life, loses some life. He's at 8 now.
Oh.
Exiles his yard.
Treasure Cruise.
3 new cards. Land morph. Go.
I mean, I guess Shields can line up a double block here because of the life he gained from having a
Right. So
high
that's what
toughness
he
creature
does.
die last turn.
He
He's
decides
gonna-
to double block the mandrills.
which will let Jamie kill his choice of those creatures while also dealing 5.
Yes.
Kill a morph here?
Get that flare out of the way.
I mean, it'd be nice to get the flare off the board, but you kind of know what it is. And, like, you're not losing to it. The morph can pick up a Ghostfire Blade. The morph can be something awesome. Well, he decides he wants the flare off the board.
Yep. So it looks like Shields will end up at 7 at the end of that exchange. And another morph from the Pantheon member. Morph, morph, Archer's Parapet,
Yeah, Shields' handful of spells having
and Ghostfire Blade.
having resolved that treasure cruise. He's got some gas.
All right, gets his Woolly Loxodon on Jamie at the end of the turn.
Big.
Two points in the air.
Yeah. It's just like, all right, send them all. What do you got? Normally a morph wearing a Ghostfire Blade is pretty big. Not big enough here.
So, interesting.
Yeah, not even a double block kills the Willy
I was thinking about like you put the Parapet in front of the Loxodon, put the other two in front of the Flare. Highland game from Jamie.
He smells blood.
Grand Prix competitors, that's the end of round 6.
Turn them all sideways.
Finish your turn and proceed to 5 additional turns. Again, round 6 is over.
Yeah, he's obliged to just chump block the Willy Loxodon at this point. Wow, even with the block, he still takes the 2 in the air.
Works out his blocks in such a way that
Sure.
some creatures live. Like, no, let's redo that.
He doesn't really want to kill the Highland game because that's a 3rd flyer to the board.
You have to kill something sooner or later.
Ryan Burkett and Timothy Robertson, your draft is waiting for you. Ryan Burkett and Timothy Robinson, please report to the Congress stage.
Villainous Wealth.
Oh, wow.
Vintage players,
For
your
6
board
cards.
pairings will be up momentarily. Please return to the play space. Vintage pairings will be up momentarily.
Get a Hooting Mandrills, get a Tuskguard Captain, get a Smoke Teller, get an Ivory Tusk Fortress.
Jeez.
Those 2 lands go away.
Nothing to deal with the flyers though, right?
No.
Jamie's got 2 power in the air. Oh.
Armament Core.
Armament Core, yeah.
Now the Flyers are lethal.
That was an insane game of Magic.
It's pretty cool. It's a nice little back and forth. So John Finkel, Dan O'Mahony Schwartz, and Jamie Park are now